Welcome back to Knox, a home of boxing, Victoria, Australia, around the world on this Friday night.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, another interstate contest fought by 3-minute rounds in the welterweight division. Would you welcome a man occupying New South Wales, 22 years of age, in professional boxing, 3 bouts, 1 win, 1 draw, mentor, a man who also trains top line kickboxer and boxer, Canavan.
Yep. Do you want me to tell him to get it up?
Ladies and gentlemen, this draw one last.
Okay.
The breaks his mentor, wearing trunks of red with white, proud of his Maltese tradition, scoring 64 points. Jason Cortis from New South Wales. And across the ring, ladies and gentlemen, in the blue corner, originally from Bendigo, now part of Thomson Fighters Factory. Last year, he won gold with Mackay in the Amateur Boxing League National Championships. Untarnished in professional boxing, 3 bouts, 2 wins, 1 draw. He's getting 63.85 kilograms. He's up at dawn tomorrow morning, back on the hustings as the butcher, the Blackburn Butcher. Would you welcome Leigh Purcell?
I've asked someone to turn the lights up. Would it help if they raise these beams? Okay.
Drop the lace on the outside.
Yeah. Would it be better if all the lights were outside completely?
Maxie Ryan and Jack Reed, legendary boxing man. Round 1.
4 3-minute rounds here. B.A. Butler, Leigh Purcell, you have Big Hope. And Brad, these 2 guys are very up and coming, so we'll just have a look at them in the first round, see how they go.
Both very, very well skilled fighters. I've refereed young Cortis myself, and he's powerful too, and he can punch.
Purcell likes to company fight. Full straight up fighters, with orthodox and stance.
Shocker, this will be a classic boxer versus punchers sort of confrontation. You see Cortis a little bit flat-footed, typical puncher.
He jumped in there. I would like to see him take a little bit more time. That's been his downfall in his last couple of fights.
Well, both had 3 fights each, haven't they, B.A.?
Yep.
And Purcell in the black trunks from the KG fighter. Knows what he's doing. Both boys having a feeling out round here. First the 4 3s.
Tending to slap a little bit is Jason Cortis with that hand. You saw him in that blue corner before, picked it up, but he's not going to hurt his opponent that way, Brian, is he? He's,
no,
he to hit with the
I don't think so, but he's definitely sitting there like he's looking to land the big right hand and the hook.
Well, he's going to try. That's his style. What'll actually happen. Very, very well schooled. He knows.
He is. There you go.
But
he holds his hands dangerously low. That was a beautiful right hand by Purcell, but he can't take Cortis's power lightly.
Good right cross here from Cortis. Purcell has him backed up against the Ferntree position here. Cortis, is he going to fight his way off?
Certainly Cortis looks like he's just a little bit stronger than Leigh. In close, he's being able to twist him and turn him that little bit, but
he does. I wouldn't like to see Leigh try to tow it out with him. He sort of gets the feeling of every opponent he has. He's just like he's ripped off his house, you know. So he has that sort of intensity about him.
Cortis is reaching from far too far away, as you see there.
Well, he's flat-footed on that back foot, and he's not going to be able to reach his target while he is.
Good left jab from Cortis, underneath there on Purcell.
Which you see there now.
Slapping left hook there from Cortis.
Very open stance, isn't he?
Yeah, very slow right cross, but could say very similar to Anthony Mundine looks as Cortis from Sydney.
Oh, big right hand.
Good right cross there from Purcell. Right on the butt there.
Oh, he's got the power.
And he stopped. He should have stopped there.
Oh, but didn't he fire back, young Cortis?
Certainly has. Leigh Purcell's got to be a little bit careful as he comes in to try and put the finishing touches to Jason Cortis, because Cortis's best punch is that left hook. I saw him knock out Robbie Speedon on him under the undercard.
Well, it's a good round there, and just one thing on that, when when Leigh Purcell, the second right cross in the red corner here, when he hit Jason Cortis. Cortis buttoned at the knees, and Purcell stopped to have a look.
He certainly did. He's
And it should never stop.
certainly, Shocker, that's just a little bit of inexperience on behalf of Leigh Purcell.
And Brian, there's a busy round there. How did you see it, Brian?
Well, I was scoring that round pretty even up until that couple of nice right hands there by Leigh Purcell, and it seems the way he's hanging his hand low, Cortis, that'll be the punch that Leigh Purcell will be looking to pull him up with. But I was surprised he sort of stopped him in his tracks there, and but geez, didn't Cortis come out flying from that corner?
Well, that's that gap. A good fighter would have followed up with another right cross, but how did you see it, Brian?
Well, I was scoring the fight even up until... got nothing, John. I was scoring the fight even up until those two right hands, and so I give it a 10-9 round to Leigh Purcell.
Yes, for the bigger and the better punches, more of them in that round, but
he was just a little cleaner in his exhibition too, you know, as he puts it. You'll notice that Cortis boxes a little bit like Anthony Mundine. He's trained by Paul Gresh in the red corner here, and they train at the Mundine Gym in Redfern in Sydney. That's where they train, so...
Very similar.
Okay.
Purcell moving round now. He's looking for an opening here. Good left jab from Cortis.
The only thing I could be critical of young Leigh Purcell is when he had his band hurt, he came in just with gay abandon and walked into a couple of left hooks, one right on top of the commentary position here and another one in that red corner. And I think he just needs to be a little bit careful because this bloke has got a little bit of power, and if he hits Leigh on the chin, he could hurt him, and even the fight up, of course, you know.
Good straight right there from go back to the fight. Leigh Purcell.
Yeah,
reaching from too far away, lifting his leg there.
Needs to box and work his way in behind that jab. He's got such a beautiful jab, and he's starting to get drawn in a little bit of a fight here. He's trying to back Cortis up. I'd like to see him move everything off the left hand.
Good shot there from Cortis, underneath.
Well timed, that right under the heart, that one. And they hurt Brian, as you know.
They certainly do. They certainly do, Brad.
He never had a heart.
Well, Shocker, you got hit there a couple of times in your illustrious career, and there was no pain there for you neither.
I feel it now, though. Go back to the fight here. Cortis, he's a good-looking fighter too. The way he stands, you know, as you say, he's a bit wide open, but I mean, he looks colourful.
And I think the other thing we've got to remember is that the young man's only had 3 fights. You know, he's had 3 fights for 1 win, 1 loss, and 1 draw, and so he's still really a novice, but he's well skilled, and this is going to be a terrific little fight.
Yeah, good exchange here from both fighters there, and they're very good exhibition of boxing here. Boys fighting underneath the second of 4 3-minute rounds. Cortis in the white pants from Sydney, and the black trunks, Leigh Purcell from the Fighters Factory in Blackburn. He's up to... There's one thing Purcell will have to do. He'll have to leave his right foot stationary on the canvas when he throws his right hand.
That's correct. That was a better right hand. Still from a bit too far away. He's smothering himself there, Leigh Purcell. He's got to give himself that little bit of room.
He's got to give himself an arms distance away so he can see what's coming and see what he can do with it.
Certainly the heavier punches, Shocker, are coming from Jason Cortis, and he's got the advantage in power. And what's actually happening is he's sucking Leigh Purcell into his fight. Actually, it's a very close round, but Cortis has landed the harder of the punches. And Leigh needs to get back, keep Cortis on his back foot with that left lead. He's got a good left lead. He's just not using it enough. He's wanting to stand there and trade punches with him.
Purcell's got good evasion skills here from Purcell, and I mean, that's a better round for Jason Cortis going back to the red corner. And as we look over to the blue corner, I think Murray Thomson now be working on Purcell, saying lift your work rate and do a bit more. And I mean, he's got to do that. I mean, we're halfway through the bout now, and Cortis looks comfortable. How did you see the round there, Brian?
Well, I called that a complete opposite of the last round. I thought I agreed with Brad. Cortis landed the harder punches in that round. He was leading Leigh Purcell into his game plan and just letting him come on and line him up with those beautiful right hands under the heart and the left hooks. Leigh needs to get back behind his little jab a bit and be a little bit more patient, I think, and it'll come.
Well, Brad, it's going to be interesting because, I mean, Purcell, there's a lot expected by Purcell as we look at him in the corner now. And you know, he's got to start, he's got to lift his game now because Cortis is comfortable. He lost the first round only because of a couple of punches, but he's comfortable.
Exactly, and I think, as you know, Shocker, you know, the fighter who settles down first is most likely to win the fight. It looks to me like Cortis has settled a little bit quicker than young Leigh Purcell and is making him fight his fight.
Well, he's got his distance, which is good. I mean, two good exchange there from both fighters.
Nice right hands by Leigh Purcell.
Cortis moves in for the kill. That's something Purcell should have done.
Lands some
here he goes.
A little clash of heads there as they...
And when he cuts the both fighters exchanging good punches on the ropes.
Yeah, fast, furious exchange. Good hands by both boys.
Purcell gets too close when he has somebody on the ropes. Too close.
He's a tendency to smother himself. That's what I mean about that intensity he has. He's so keen to get in there. He forgets his game plan.
And when he finds his range, he's just having a little bit of difficulty finding his range. He's either too far out and he's lifting that back foot trying to reach, or he's too close and he smothers himself. But I think Murray's a little bit of concern. It's just bagging on the canvas there. And
it's all about distance, isn't it? I mean, Purcell's never really found his range, has he?
No, he hasn't. I think when he does find his range with the beautiful hands that he has got, I think that he can turn this fight around. It's still not over.
He wore that left hook flush.
He came back Purcell. Good left jab there from Cortis. Purcell's smothering him again now.
This is where he needs to give himself that 6 inches room.
He's not going to get himself a powerful punch if he's lying on top of him. He's going to step back and let it rip.
Ryan, that's a good call. Just 6 inches, and that just makes the difference. He's just got to find his range, slow the pace of the fight down. He's got very fast hands, a nice little uppercut as he walks straight onto that Jason Cortis.
Purcell has Cortis in the corner now. Can he do something? He's leaning on him.
He's got to slip back.
Slip back and find his range. Walks straight into an uppercut, left hook. That's a wrong punch. He doesn't need to be there. He's not going to win this fight being there.
Cortis is doing some lovely rope work there. He's doing uppercuts from the rope. Very good rope work there. He never got hurt and he was able to reply. Very good.
He's not flustered, Jason Cortis, is he?
No. Very cool.
Brian, he just takes his time. He's balanced. He's very well balanced. Very flat-footed, but very well balanced.
I'm very impressed with Jason Cortis. He's starting to look a bit tired, but then Leigh Purcell slowed up the pace.
They have.
Good right cross there.
Good right cross.
Right on the button.
After the left. That's what I want to see him doing. Make Cortis miss and then... That was another one.
That one hurt.
He just wore a left hook back for it though.
Well, what he's done is just a little bit sloppy.
There's another right hand over the top.
Good left hand from Cortis underneath, so he gets in and out with it.
Cortis, you'll notice now, is moving around to Leigh's right, and he's going to walk straight onto that right hand. What he needs to do is move around to that again.
Big left hook by Cortis.
And the right hand caught his attention there too. That certainly hurt the young Leigh Purcell.
I think Purcell's a little bit mesmerised by the fast hands of Cortis. He's not settling well. Good left hand underneath from Cortis. Another one. Good block shots underneath. Good reply there from Purcell, but I'd say Cortis walks back to his corner, and Purcell, as you see, walking back to the blue corner. He looks a little bit tired and a little bit bewildered. Brian, how did you see that round?
I gave that an even round, actually. I was looking at Leigh Purcell. Did land the bigger punches in that round, but I was leaning towards him. But the thing was, every time he did land a good one, it was only seconds away before Cortis countered. So it's a matter of who's got the punch and who's got the chin.
Brian, Cortis, I mean, is he well thought of in up north?
Oh, very much. I mean, he's only had 3 fights as well, two wins and 1 draw. His first fight was a draw against Damien Loader, I think it was, who's a rough, tough customer. But since then he's turned around. I saw him knock out Robbie Spiegel on the Monday.
You've seen the corner. Murray Thompson's really getting it to Leigh Purcell.
Well, he can see this fight slipping away from him a little bit.
Oh, I've got it all locked up here.
Well, it's all locked up, and I would myself have Cortis a little bit in front, but B.A. Butler, who's our unofficial scorer and looking for a job with the Australian Boxing Federation.
You can't argue with him.
Got tonight. Last round.
Oh, big shot.
Big shots.
Very well timed punch there, wasn't it?
Good tactics from the corner, because I think he's trying to sway the judges. He's far too close in there, Purcell. It's letting him down a wee bit. As Brian said earlier in the fight, Brad, he's smothering his fire. He's stepped out half a step back, and you can unload anything you want.
And what's happened? Jason Cortis is playing the counter-punching role now. He's on the back foot. He's moving around, in my opinion, to the wrong
Good
way.
left underneath there from Cortis.
Exactly. But
Nice uppercut from Purcell.
Purcell's coming in there with a right cross there. There was a bit of sting in that one. Very orthodox.
He'd only be patient enough to let Cortis come in a bit, and then he can counter him. That's Leigh Purcell's best.
Yes.
That's Leigh Purcell's best way of winning this fight today.
He's a boxer, not a fighter, Brian, as you picked it. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to out-muscle him.
Oh, beautiful. 1-2, left, right.
Good shots underneath from Cortis again. Swinging right over the top, which thank God missed. Underneath, right cross. And good punches from Cortis. Steps in with the left hand. Really snappy left hand. And again,
that was a nice left hook.
and a good left hook to go
Anyway, Purcell caught that one on the glove and the body shot before that, so...
He certainly looks confident, Jason Cortis, doesn't he?
Yep. Under control,
He does.
nice and cool. He waits for the openings, and when he gets them, he uses them.
Leigh just missing with that lead there. He's just too far out.
Good shots here from Cortis on the back move. Purcell trying to smother up and push him on the ropes.
Just becoming a little tired now.
Yeah, well, he can't score. He's using his energy to push rather than punch. Purcell pushing him at the neutral corner. Lazy right hand, good left hook from Cortis back.
Certainly the power is with Jason Cortis. He walked straight onto that little right hand. Walked straight onto it. He was moving the wrong way, and he knows he made a mistake there.
Leigh Purcell has to win this round to win the fight. Both boys do, I might add, actually.
Yeah, it's a very close, very hard
Good shot
fight.
underneath there. Swinging
You
right
can
hand.
see the big red welt that come out from that one. On his one
Good right cross for both boys. Laying away here in the middle of the round.
That's better from Leigh Purcell, rolling under the punches, sitting instead of hanging on. Or pushing.
They're both confident young fighters. This is a good little fight.
Good evasion skills there from Cortis. Seen that right coming, swayed away, got in the middle of the ring again.
Made Leigh miss with all of those punches, but
Good shot there from Cortis. Good right cross.
another big right hand by Cortis. And Leigh Purcell just standing straight in front of Jason Cortis. The bell ends the fight.
That was a very, very good fight there. 4 3-minute rounds. Leigh Purcell in the back punch. Jason Cortis going across to the opposition corner now, but I mean, for my money, I think Cortis looks very, very cool and very in control. B.A. Butler, unofficial scorer. How do you see it?
I'll give that last round to Cortis. I just thought he landed the more powerful punches. Purcell had his opportunity with his jab, and he did land some good punches. But look, Jason Cortis just held himself together in that round. He knew what he was doing. He was comfortable letting Purcell come onto him. He was even prepared to wear those right hands. Brad moving round to his left side so he could counter with his hook over the right hand.
And then we go to the ring announcer, Lee.
As we wait our judges tonight are Anika Williams, Andrew Campbell and Brian Membry. They're both very experienced judges, and on my unofficial card I've got Cortis winning 39-37.
Congratulations to the team. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a warm welcome? Stepping into the centre ring, he's the new International Kickboxing Federation Pan-Pacific Middleweight Champion, nursing a bit of a hand injury, but heading to a World Championship in London down the track. Sam King Solomon. A big round of applause for Sam King Solomon.
Terrific effort on Wednesday for Sam Solomon to beat Sean Sullivan over 12 3-minute rounds to claim the IBF Pan-Pacific Middleweight Championship.
Kickboxing, did I? IBF, International Boxing Federation.
Very popular man.
I was thinking back at Sam's days as a kickboxer. Thank you, both.
Nice sportsmanship as we see Jason Cortis congratulate Solomon on his
Okay, Jason Cortis and Leigh Purcell. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a majority decision. It's very close. Judge Mick Croucher gave it 37-39 Cortis. Judge Andrew Campbell could not separate the two fighters. He gave it a drawn contest, 38 apiece. The final card, Judge Anika Williams. She had it 37-38 for the winner from the red corner. Jason Too Sharp Cortis.
A popular decision. You see Paul Gresh delighted at the response.
Well, it's a good decision, and I don't see anything that should have a draw. But anyway, you know, different angles, so different aspects of the fight. Very much. Jason Cortis.
Big round of applause there for Leigh Purcell.
It certainly would. I'd like to see the boys maybe 12 months down the track in their careers, maybe going over 8 threes as opposed to 4 threes. A lot of difference when you're going over the longer rounds, Brad.
Very much, and I think it's certainly a good learning curve for young Leigh Purcell. No disgrace to lose to a young man like this, and if they look at the big picture, I think it's a terrific effort, and it was a very, very good little fight. I scored at 39, 37, the same as Mick Croucher did, but it was very, very close, and it was a good fight.
With one hand, it was about easier tasks, but no, it was fun.
Sam, when you recover from that, something big down the track, maybe back in England, you're almost your home base, but you love Australia.
Yeah, I'm based back here in Australia now, but I'm fighting for the world title in London, and I'm bringing home the world title. So that's my dream. I've wanted it all my life, and I'm not going to let this stop. I'm not going to let this stop me. So 4 weeks, this is off. 8 weeks, I'm fighting for the world title, and I'm bringing it home back to Australia. So.
Sam King Sullivan, charismatic, managed by Stuart Duncan. Okay, a bit of music and we'll be back about 3.